Hi guys, Everyday Knife Guy here, and today we're looking at another Thrunite product, which is going to be the TH20 Headlamp. And you may remember probably a couple of months ago now I looked at the TH10, which they sent me, and pretty impressed with this headlamp. Not sure why my camera is not focusing today. There we go. Impressed with this. It's a little heavy, a little bulky, and this takes an 18650. The TH20 is going to be a slightly smaller version, and this one can take AA batteries as well as, I think it's what's the one? 14540s, whatever the number is, we'll find out in a second. And this is basically just a smaller unit, and obviously a bit of a lower output, but also a little bit more affordable. So let's see what's in the box. First of all, we have the headlamp, and straight away you can see, I'll just rotate this, it's packed that way I guess. You can see when we put these side by side, the size difference right off the bat, and much smaller, more compact light. Still boasts pretty good output, so let's see how this one stacks up. Also in the box, the manual, of course, we'll look at that in a second. We have a spare head mount, I guess in case you want to put on a second strap or the original one breaks. We have a couple of O-rings, a little bit of warranty information, all the usual stuff. Pack that off to the side here. Yeah, so I think this would be a pretty good option just for the occasional backpacker or emergency use, maybe in your vehicle. If you're by yourself and you get a flat at night, then a headlamp's going to be a lot more useful than a basic flashlight, I would say, because obviously you have light angled exactly where you need it at all times. And as with the previous headlamp I reviewed from Thrunite, it comes in this kind of rubber gasket, nice comfortable webbing strap, good elasticity, excuse me, and this just rotates basically within that gasket, so you can angle it any way you want. The end of this just screws off, like so, for battery installation. And you can see I've popped an energizer in there. As with most Thrunites, this does not come with the battery, so you've got to pop your own one in, but it just takes an AA, or let's double check the number of the other one it takes, which is 14500. So I'll hold this up for you just now, and you can pause it if you like, just to look at the technical specs. So you can see there it has two ratings. So if you look on Amazon or somewhere, it will usually say, oh, 520 lumen headlamp, but of course the 520 is with that 14500 cell. On a AA, you're actually looking at 250, as you can see right here. But it does have a number of different modes, which is quite good. As usual, 1 meter impact resistance, IPX8 waterproofing, so all the usual stuff you'd expect from Thrunite. XPL V6 LED. And yeah, and weight there 96 grams. We'll check that on the other one. So have a look at the light itself. This one has a bit of a difference from the TH10. The TH10 was mode change via this little button on top here, and power on via that button. This one actually has a switch right in the end here. You can see the rubber grommet there. So a long press will put you into Firefly mode. Oops, let's cut the lights off here, maybe you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing. I don't know if I've got that battery tight enough. 1 second. Yeah, so a long press puts us into Firefly mode. Now there will be some strobe here at some point, so there's your strobe warning, guys. A double press puts you straight into turbo, so that's your 250 lumen output on a AA cell. If we press again, we go off, so let's long press into Firefly. Now it's quite a cool mode here. It's called Infinity Selection, I think they call it. So basically if I just keep holding on that power button, you will see that the light will slowly step up through the modes. It will give a double flash when it reaches turbo basically, and it will start to go back down again. So I think that's really useful. I mean, if you were on a campsite or something, and if I just keep holding this, it'll go back into Firefly. Keep holding it, it'll go back up through the modes again. So if you weren't quite sure how much light you needed, you're literally just holding that button down until you find the right amount. And I think that's really cool. It makes it a lot more adjustable. You don't have to remember double click for this, triple click for that. You're just going to hold your finger on it until you find the mode you like. So I think that's really pretty neat and a very useful way of selecting a mode on a light such as this. Maybe not so much on a EDC flashlight or something where you might learn exactly what you need and just you always double press or always long press or whatever it is you need. But something like this, I say, maybe for camping or something like that, I think that's pretty useful. So go ahead and turn that off. Yeah, so specs wise, this is putting out 750 max. This one on a rechargeable battery, I think it's always, what was it, 500? Oops, let's double check on here. 520 on a rechargeable, so a bit less output, but also a much smaller, more compact unit. And having tried both of them, both on my head and also on a cap, I do find this one a lot more practical. Let's say this is less than half the weight of this. I don't have the spec for the weight of this right on off the top of my head, but less than half the weight I would say, and just feels a lot more comfortable. Doesn't of course have that triple strap, which is maybe a little bit of a letdown. This one has a triple strap pretty much because it needs it though, just to support that weight on your forehead. Otherwise this would be down on your nose the whole time because it's just that heavy. And of course this is a little sort of nose heavy in itself because it has this big barrel, whereas you don't really have that protrusion on this one. It's just a nice, neat little cylinder. So good thing about both of these, of course, you can take them out of the grommet. Not sure how easy it is to show you that. Oops. Let's see if I can do that for you here. There you go. So you can pull out the grommet and just use it as a little kind of hand flashlight if you needed to, or you want to get rid of that head strap or it breaks in an emergency situation or whatever. So that's quite a useful feature as well, I think. Pricing on these, the TH20 currently on Amazon about 30 bucks on US Amazon, the TH10 about 40. So for the $10 difference, you do get a much higher output with this light, but you do have that higher weight and much bulkier unit. So that just depends whether that's something you're interested in or whether that fits with your needs. So the Firefly mode, 0.3 lumens, I think is plenty just for seeing your way around. Let's try that once more. And again, if you're trying to navigate in a fairly stealthy manner, you don't want to wake up your camping companions or whatever, I think that's plenty. So yeah, good little function. We'll just try that infinity mode once more. So it says when it goes to infinity high, it goes to 230 as opposed to turbo mode of 250, but you wouldn't really notice the difference. You're basically cycling all the way up to full power. And you see if you hold your finger on steadily, it will just keep going through that mode, which is pretty neat. And I must admit, I just enjoy playing with it, so bear with me guys. Double flash just to let you know. There is a strobe mode, I think. Let's turn it off. I think it's triple tap to get in strobe mode. Oops, maybe not. Oh, it's an SOS mode, sorry. So that'll be long flash, long flash, long flash, and then dot, dot, dot. Yep, that was it. So that was the second part of our cycle. So yeah, SOS mode, but not a strobe on this. And again, that's always quite a useful feature to have on something that you might take backpacking or to a campsite or something like that. So I think that's about it really guys. That is the TH20 headlamp from Thrunite. Another solid product. Build quality, as usual, feels really good. Nice solid little unit, not too heavy this one. Everything seems to be the way it should be and provide you some spare O-rings, stuff like that. Can't really ask for much more for 30 bucks. So that's it guys, TH20 headlamp. And I hope you enjoyed this review and back more videos soon. Have a great day. Cheers.